There are 1,000 things you can do to grow your jiu-jitsu gym. Paid ads, billboards, social media, a new logo, referral programs, email campaigns, seminars, live events, open mats. The options are endless, it seems, especially with all the advice that you can see online. And almost none of them matter until you can answer this one question. I'm Tanner. I've spent the last 3 years building, auditing, and managing websites and Google business profiles of jiu-jitsu gyms and MMA academies across the United States. I've looked at hundreds of jiu-jitsu gym websites and Google business profiles. I've sat on calls with owners of jiu-jitsu gyms and MMA academies of all kinds. I've also seen what actually moves the needle for these jiu-jitsu gyms that I help. I also see what can be a complete waste of time, especially if done in the wrong order. I'm also a brown belt in jiu-jitsu. I train every day. I started training 10 years ago. I compete. So when I talk about this, it's coming from a place that's like not just an outsider's perspective marketer, but someone who cares deeply about the community and wants to do right by it. You didn't open a gym to become a marketer. A lot of people that I speak to and gym owners open a gym for the freedom of it, to pursue the sport they love in some way, either teaching or continuing to compete, or just because they love the sport itself and they love the people in the community. They want to start a gym that actually allows you to build a life from it. And that's like a big reason why people, I think that I've seen why they start this is because a lot of people would do this for free and for many years pay to do this sport and sacrifice and train hard and miss time with family in some cases. And a gym is one of the main ways, one of the ways out that people usually that I talk to that want to find a way to make a living off the sport. And that's like one of the main ways. You have your own gym, you can make money from it. You can build the gym how you like. So there's a lot of reasons why people would decide to start their own gym, and that's like a big one. When people do search for this freedom though, between signing the lease and about 3 years in, depending on even the first year, you can notice it, but there's the shift of like, I'm going to pursue what I want, and everyone knows it's harder. It's not just like going to be easy, but they realize they have to like build a website and like get ranked higher on Google. They have to do marketing. They have to manage people. They have to hire employees in some cases, do janitorial work, clean the mats, buy the mats, get everything set up. They still have their own family usually that they want to maintain and make sure they're good. And they may have other hobbies outside of jiu-jitsu. Most people will get pretty obsessed with it, so unlikely in the beginning. Between social media and paid ads and people reaching out to you all the time trying to sell you stuff, and you don't know it's legit, you don't know it's real, and like what people who are actually trying to do right by you and people who are trying to just like take your money, it can be pretty overwhelming when all you really wanted to do was train. Marketing is one of those things where it's like, you have all these people, you have to accept payments, you need to follow up with people, you have all these things you could do. And marketing tends to be one of the second and maybe tertiary things you think about as opposed to running and operating your gym day to day, which is honestly the most important part. Without this core being strong, the marketing won't even be useful because they're going to show up and not have a good experience in the first place. So that being said, I'm going to read off all the hats you may have to wear in your business real quick. Part-time admin, part-time marketer, part-time janitor, part-time IT department, part-time HR, part-time accountant. Like there's so many things we can talk about, and there's even more. And if you go into the marketing side, there's like a whole subsection of things you have to learn, and eventually it just becomes overwhelming and you'd rather just be on the mat and learning your own thing. So it's like, what do I focus on first on top of every other obligation that I have in my life? It can be pretty frustrating. People almost just give up because it's just too much. And then like marketing can also seem like the heaviest thing to do at the gym because at least when you're washing the mats or you're teaching classes, it's something to do with what you signed up for. You kind of knew going into this, you'd have to be managing and taking care of hygiene on the mats and teaching classes and teaching kids and teaching adults. Like you expected this, but marketing, every hour you're spending to tweak your Wix website or hope this person does their job with posting a video, or maybe you have to post a video yourself. It's like, every hour you're spending on that is not an hour that you could be devoted to learning or training yourself, teaching your students and your peers, spending time with your family even, or just chilling, like just resting. So marketing, I think, is the most frustrating for people because it's the least to do with what they actually intended, like the dream of opening a gym. That's like one of the furthest things away from actually doing what you wanted in the first place. And also you have other life pulling on you. You have a family, you have kids sometimes, you have friends, you have hobbies. And like oftentimes maybe spouses or even your friends or your family already think that the sport takes too much time from you. And it's like, now even on the weekends, usually marketing gets thrown on that because that's when you have a chance to even sit down at a computer and really think about this stuff. You already spent all this time during the week and oftentimes on Saturdays too, and sometimes 7 days a week. When you get home 10 p.m., now you want to sit down and work on the marketing. It's like you're already burnt out. You've already spent time away from your family. I think this is why, at the core, why marketing can be so frustrating for gym owners. In a lot of cases, you opened a gym for freedom. At the core, it was freedom. I think in most cases, there's a part of that why you decided to open a gym. And marketing tends to take away a lot of that freedom day in and day out. By the end of this video, you're going to know the one constraint that's actually keeping your jiu-jitsu gym stuck, why every other marketing thing you've tried has felt so heavy, and the single move that makes most of the other stuff you can do easier, or in some cases completely unnecessary. If you've been spinning your wheels trying to put in order what the next thing to do to grow your gym is, this is the video that puts it in order for you. 3 things we're going to cover in this video. 1, why most gym owners are overwhelmed, what's actually causing it. Number 2, the question that cuts through the noise and gives you a clear next step. And 3, what to actually do about it once you have the answer. Welcome to the Grapple Growth Show. Let's get into it. There's a myth of needing more time. Like if you had more hours in the day, or you could escape and get away for 4 hours to work on this project, that you could get all these things done, but you end up having like these half-finished projects, this website you want to build, and this referral program you want to install, and you want to hire new people, and you want to upgrade your gym like construction-wise inside and improve it in some way. There's just so many things you could do. You don't have a time problem in most cases. A lot of time it's just lack of priority and fixing the biggest constraint in your business. And oftentimes, like a website, for example, is proactive, is something you should take care of, but after everything else is checked off the list, at the end of the day, it's like, do I really want to put in the hours necessary to do a good job that actually gets the results from working with marketing, and then even past the website with social media and paid ads and all the things you could do on top of that. And then oftentimes there's a half-built shelf of marketing projects. You could have, maybe you post 3 videos and then you stop posting for 3 weeks on social media. You have a referral program that you never officially launched in your gym, or you have 3 free trial leads that have messaged your website, but you haven't quite gotten back to them yet because you don't even know maybe if they're a spam caller or a scammer or a marketer or a customer. You have all these things, these tasks that you have to do that can be pretty frustrating on top of managing the people that are already there. In fact, you have to prioritize the people that are there so you can retain these students and give them a good experience and hopefully build a good culture to keep them long term. So the students that aren't quite there but maybe are looking are oftentimes neglected, even if you intend to do right by them. A Google business profile that hasn't been updated in 8 months, maybe a website that looks like it was made in 2005, or maybe it hasn't been touched since 2019. You have some unresponded to reviews. Each project is 30% done, but nothing is finished. There's a common thing online when people try to give advice to people that it's like, do more. But do more isn't always the right answer. Especially if you're super overwhelmed already, then adding more, like a lot of times you have to delete the things that you don't really deem as a priority or deem as the most important thing. So adding more isn't always the right answer. Sometimes it's doing less and then doing the small amount of things right. Or you have to outsource those things to someone else. For example, maybe someone from the gym to post social media videos, or someone to do paid ads for your gym. In a lot of cases, you know what you should be doing, you know what skills you should learn, but it's like which one to do first, and the time required to do it, you may not even get like an immediate return on that time when you could just focus on your sport and teaching. So like it always comes back to wanting and feeling this need to do what is the priority, which is doing a great job in your gym and teaching and being there for your students and being available and not being burnt out and having enough energy to make them want to come back and being friendly, but also being professional enough. Like there's so many things that come with being a coach that I've watched from people, and that's like a common theme. With all these things, it can often cause paralysis with gym owners. There's all these things to do, and you might find a gap in your day to open up your laptop for 20 minutes, but it's like you don't really know what to do. You don't want to invest this 20 hours into doing something and then maintaining it every month. And even if you can even do a good job in the first place, it's a lot of ifs. And a lot of times that cycle isn't like a discipline issue. It's more of a clarity issue and more of a focus issue. There's a shift that I think a lot of gym owners make, which is from doing more to finding the one right thing for you, and then maybe outsourcing the rest that may be more suited for someone else, like tasks you don't want to do. It's also identifying the single move that, if done right, would resolve a lot of the problems later down the line. That's a big question worth asking. Everything else is noise until you can solve this You can call it constraint of your business. Stop doing everything and find the one thing that matters. So that begs the question, what's the most important next step you can do to proactively grow your gym for the long term? Where gym owners usually get their advice from, it's usually whoever's the loudest on Instagram, the last marketing agency that cold called them, pitching them their services, a friend who runs a CrossFit gym across town, a YouTube video from someone who's never even set foot in a BJJ school before. None of these sources are filtering what's actually important for a gym owner and what they should focus on first, what foundation they should build. There's a question you can ask clearly is, what is the highest leverage move you can make right now to grow your gym for the long term? Not the flashiest, not the easiest, not what your friend did, but the one that compounds with every passing day and every future marketing effort in the future. The answer for almost every BJJ gym in the country and in the world is capturing the people that are already searching for your service every day. Capturing the people that are already searching for Jiu-Jitsu gym near me in Google. Jiu-Jitsu gym near me, that search term, Jiu-Jitsu gym in city, that's the people we're trying to target. Full stop. That's what I believe to be the first answer you should target. Because you don't have to convince these people to show up. They're already interested. They're already looking for your service. With a paid ad or with social media, you kind of have to convince people to show up like, oh, this is what jiu-jitsu is. I'm curious about this, or you should come to my gym over others. But when someone's quite literally searching in Google or in ChatGPT or in Claude and any OpenAI, any LLM model, they're searching for this, who gets recommended? That's like, you want to be the gym that's recommended. That's the highest search intent and the highest intended type of person that you want in your gym. It requires no convincing. They oftentimes know what jiu-jitsu is. And what's cool is a certain percentage of any given population will search for jiu-jitsu every month. And your gym could be the top 5 or top 3 in the city. And that's like the most powerful thing. I've been able to generate multiple high intent leads that way, and it was amazing the first time I was able to do it when I learned these skills and applied it to a gym. And I was just like blown away that this wasn't common knowledge, or that a lot of the gyms that I care about haven't been doing this. And why this type of customer, I think, is this type of lead is the most high value for a gym owner, is because they're not like just curious. If they're searching, they have enough knowledge to like they know what jiu-jitsu it is at least at a fundamental level, and they want to try it out. They're not just like they're quite literally shopping. They're gonna try jiu-jitsu in the next month or so, in the next week, maybe tomorrow if you capture them on your website or capture them in some way. The only question is, whose gym are they gonna go to? This is a really painful part. Most jiu-jitsu gyms are invisible to that person, or the 10 or 20 or 30 or 100 people every month that are searching in your city. And it could be a case where like the gym down the street with the worst coach or with worse jiu-jitsu is getting the student that you otherwise would have had. And because that student doesn't know any better, they're going to this other gym and they don't even get a chance to experience you because they've already been brought in. A lot of times there's no preference, because from the perspective of a white belt that's entering, a purple belt to them may as well be a world champion in the sport. It's like, they know so much more. They can't even differentiate what good and what okay and what exceptional jiu-jitsu is. So in all honesty, they don't care. They don't know any better. It's like, unless you're like A-list, your name is known even to non-jiu-jitsu athletes, it's like, it's unlikely they're going to pick you unless they search you and you come up first and you can respond to them first. So an analogy is like that of, say, a plumber. If you call plumber number 1 and you search plumber near me and you call the first one, they don't answer, you're going to call the second one because there's an emergency pipe. In this case, it's someone interested in jiu-jitsu, and they're going to go to the gym that shows up first, that they're aware of because they searched it and they found it, and probably go to the one that was the most friendly and most responsive, and that seemed to them that they cared the most. And oftentimes, the better gym loses the lead every time if they don't have these digital foundations. Oftentimes, the better gym loses this lead even if they have a better jiu-jitsu in the first place. It's crazy because the hottest leads right now are searching for jiu-jitsu in your city, and oftentimes, gym owners can't be found. And you might be in that category where they're not even finding you. You may have not known this was a problem. This is why I'm making this video, to try and make it aware to you, like why you should be at least thinking about this. This is why I build websites and fix Google business pages for jiu-jitsu gyms and MMA academies. Why I focus on this over anything else, at least at first for jiu-jitsu gyms, is because it's the one thing that if you do, It captures every bit of natural people who are searching, people who have seen you on social media, people who have referred you from a friend. They find you on Google and they show up because someone referred you maybe. Also, like, is the first impression of your business. If you set it up properly, you can get it to where it automatically responds to missed calls with text messages, and get web chat widgets on your website and self-booking customer calendars to show up for a free trial. You can get this automation sequence that just brings in leads even if you're asleep, even if you're actively teaching a class. You're in processing new leads and they show up for a free trial class the next day. And oftentimes they would, in my previous clients, they would show up and the gym owner didn't even have to interact with the student, because they would just show up, waiver signed, they already booked a free trial, they wore the right clothes, their fingernails clipped, they're clean, and the business owner sometimes didn't even have to talk to that lead because they were already high intent enough to go through the funnel that I'd created for that gym. And all future marketing efforts are enhanced. It makes everything else work easier. If you run paid ads, or you do social media, or you do signage outside or billboards, someone calls your gym and say you can't answer, but they get an immediate text message back that routes them to the website. That means that, like, all future marketing efforts are enhanced, and your previous leaky bucket where leads would look for your service and you were nowhere to be found are all being captured 100%. And you can be at peace knowing that. Every marketing channel ends at the same destination. Paid ads send traffic somewhere. Social posts drive people to look you up. Referrals with someone Googling you or Googling Jiu-Jitsu in the city. Flyer on a coffee shop on a wall ends up them calling you or looking up your website. And it's not just one of those things. A student's friend hears about the gym at a barbecue and pulls out their phone. Every single channel converges on the idea of a website that's strong and a Google business page that's strong. And when you have a broken destination, like a lack of a website or lack of a Google business page or no automations in your website, it's like every dollar you spend on ads, or every dollar you spend on an editor, or hour you spend making content, oftentimes you're like kind of just blowing money for no reason. You're lighting money on fire because every missed call, I'm sure you have 20 calls, and a lot of them are marketers that are calling you, maybe spam callers, maybe scammers, potentially students that are interested. But because you didn't have systems in place to capture these missed calls and route them to your website or capture searches anywhere online, you may be missing people that could have otherwise booked a free trial and picked you over everyone else. An analogy you can think of is like a leaky bucket. For a leaky bucket, you could pour water in it all day. You could spin advertising for a business all day. But if you don't have something to capture every lead or to capture all the water, you're wasting energy because these leads are leaking from your business, or the water is leaking from the bucket. It's the same thing. The website and Google business page is a leaky bucket. That is the filling the holes at the bottom of the bucket to capture squeezing all the juice out of your marketing efforts. It's capturing your efforts and making them show up in person. And then when they see your business and see how good your jiu-jitsu is, see how good your culture is, if only they could enter and they show up and see you, now that's on you to retain them. To be honest, a lot of gyms are functioning with a broken bucket to capture any leads that are coming in, and that's why it seems like they're struggling so much oftentimes. Why I believe this is often the constraint and not just one of the problems is because if you can fix this one thing, every other future marketing effort, social media, paid ads, anything you can think of, live events, flyers, whatever, it makes all of it more efficient automatically. And if you don't fix it, it's like every dollar and every hour you spend are working at half capacity because the leads have nowhere to go. They just kind of have to show up and hope they get there on time, or hope that another gym that may exist in your area as a competitor doesn't snag them up first for the same principles I'm talking about. And that's why I believe sincerely that this is the foundation that every jiu-jitsu gym and MMA gym needs. I believe it's simply the foundation, and that's why I lead with it and do that first for gyms to help them grow, and gotten some really good results. Bottom line, every channel ends at your website, and if your website is broken, every channel is broken. Knowing what to do isn't the same as having time to do it. Even if a gym owner watched this video or a tutorial online, how to build the perfect website and how to build a proper Google business page and how to manage it and build automations and do all these things, you're still running, it's the same core problem we talked about in the beginning. You're still teaching four classes a day. You still have a family of other obligations, maybe other priorities that outweigh building a strong digital foundation for your gym, or doing marketing for your gym. And we could like work through a realistic week of a gym owner. You have maybe morning classes, kids classes, noon classes, adults classes. You have to wash the mats. You have to repair the building if there's any issues. You have to do any like any AC or any structural issues with your building. And if you have private lessons, you have that stuff to do. You have to manage your family. You have employees sometimes. You have to go for tournaments on the weekends. You have seminars you may want to attend or run yourself. You have open mats. You have people calling you all the time trying to sell you stuff. Scammers always calling your phone. Potential customers. You have to follow up with these customers. You have to process transactions. You have all these things to manage that go into a business. And oftentimes, especially in the beginning, you may not even be profitable in your business. Or you may be just scraping by where it's like, oh, like I have all these things that I'm doing. I'm working so hard, but maybe I'm either not as profitable as I'd like to be, or sometimes not profitable at all. Or I know I could be so much more profitable if only we reached capacity for our gym, or reached half or 75% capacity for our gym. Shoot, maybe if I can get to full capacity, I can upgrade my building or move locations and scale. Like, how cool would that be to just increase capacity? And in all of that, it's like all the things you have to do, where in that would optimizing a website and optimizing a Google business page fit in? And honestly, it's one of the last things that you'd think to do, because there's obvious things that that are right in your face that you have to take care of all the time. What does it mean for someone to manage your digital foundation for you, to manage your website and to manage your Google business page, which is the main service of my service after I do the initial build? A lot of marketing agencies will build a website, put it up, and leave, and they won't manage it with you and become a growth partner with your gym. What I do in my case is if you don't want to work with me, you find someone that will do this for you. But the idea is you find someone that will build it properly, build your Google business page properly, and once that's done, they will follow up with leads for you and set up your website with proper SEO, follow up with the reviews, and manage all the software for you, set everything up to your liking, tweak the website as needed as time goes on, and leaving you to just be at peace knowing it's taken care of. That's what's pretty cool about it. If I had my way, the gym owner wouldn't even have to log in. They could just go about their day, which is what most gym owners get to do, and they just see more leads come in. They get a notification on their phone saying a lead showed up or a lead booked on their website, and their gym just grows, and they can apply all of the business knowledge they know about retaining students once they get in the gym. That's my ideal partnership. You don't have to learn the websites. You don't have to learn the platform that much, maybe just a little bit to talk to the leads with the mobile app. You don't have to troubleshoot anything. You get the result and not another task to manage. Oftentimes, when I speak to gym owners, there's math on whether or not it works. Let's say your average Jiu-Jitsu gym client or Jiu-Jitsu gym student is $135 a month. The math is this: if I get you 2.2 students at $135 a month, it covers my minimum cost, which I'm very confident I can do. Then any student that comes in after that, it's just all gravy for the business owner. It's all money at that point. In fact, if I'm saving you time and I'm making you more money than I cost, I want to do such a good job that it would be stupid for you to cancel, because I'm making you more by having me on, and you have all your time back. You're making more money than I cost, and that's the main thing that I want to do for Jiu-Jitsu gym owners and MMA academies. I think that is pretty cool because, again, if you get 2 or 3 students ever through my system that happen to stay, you can get 100, 200, 300 students that as time goes on, and every month I just get paid $300, and I live off those 2.2 students that I get you, and you get all the other stuff, and I'm just a part of the team, and I cover my own expense. That's why people have worked with me for years. The idea behind my service is that it's not just another expense, but it's an asset that makes more than it costs, and sometimes 10x is what it costs, or even more if done right, which I do. Money's great, but also it's the return on time. The fact that you don't have to touch a website anymore, you don't have to touch a Google business page anymore. You could just be at peace knowing all that's handled. Every missed call is handled. You could end up getting a lot of your weekends back, a lot of your bandwidth and time back. Focus on other marketing things, maybe making social media and routing those views to the system built to be able to capture these new students. That's the peace of mind and the time you get back, and you get to do more teaching and competing and training, which is the whole reason you open the gym in the first place. I'm not selling you another thing to manage. I'm taking something off your plate and become a growth partner with your gym. Why only work with jiu-jitsu gyms? I could work with any local business, and I have worked with many in the past. But I chose this niche. I chose to help jiu-jitsu gyms. The choice was deliberate. There are thousands of niches I could choose from. I could help any local business grow. Plumbers, dentists, chiropractors, home services, solar. There's so many things I could do. Normal fitness gyms in general. In fact, all of them need websites and Google reviews and a strong Google business page. But I picked this one on purpose because I sincerely care about the community. I'll have my own competitive goals, and I feel like I enjoy my job better when I'm helping the community that I sincerely care about. And then why I picked BJJ and MMA gyms specifically, it's mainly because I'm one of you. My reputation banks on the fact that I do a good job. I'm a brown belt. I train every day. I'm chasing elite skill in the sport. I want to become amazing at the sport. I want to become a monster at the sport one day. I want to be as good as I can be. I'm 24 right now. A big reason I started this agency was so that I could have the time to pursue the sport that I love at a competitive level. And thankfully, my agency is to a point now where I can train full-time and work on my business full-time and help gyms with everything I've just talked about, and also train in the evenings. It's like my entire plan has come together to do this. And I also know what it feels like to want to build something around the art and the sport that you love. And it's not like it is to make money because you want to provide for yourself and your family and fund your sport and your passion. But it's also because you get to surround your job with the thing you love, which is jiu-jitsu. Or mixed martial arts, which is why a lot of us have picked this path. I also understand that when you work with a regular marketer that doesn't really know that much about jiu-jitsu or MMA, it can be a bit frustrating because they don't know the difference between no-gi and gi and the nuances of jiu-jitsu versus aikido, and you get the gist. I have been in this community for 10 years. I love it. My dad's a purple belt. My dad's been a cop for 30 years. I'm a brown belt in jiu-jitsu. I started 10 years ago. I care about the sport a lot and the people in the sport. And even this YouTube channel, I'm not just making this just because it's like a content thing that I've been wanting to do for a long time. It's almost like I'm documenting my ideas and my journey within the sport and within this business and within this community, helping other jiu-jitsu gyms grow, growing my own agency, which is great, and being able to train and fundamentally fund the life that I want for myself and help others fund the lives that they want for themselves by giving them their time back and helping them make more money than I cost. And also, when you're talking to me, you're not talking to someone who just wants your money. Obviously, money's great, but you can be at peace knowing that I put on the same gi that you do. I want a lot of the same things that you do, which is my business to grow and your business to grow. And if your business doesn't grow, my business doesn't grow. And my reputation gets hurt because of that. I've spent thousands of hours on the mat at this point in my life. And I wanted to build my business specifically around helping gym owners stop from drowning on all the marketing overwhelm and help gym owners stop drowning in the part that you didn't even sign up for. So again, there's 1,000 things you could do to grow your gym. Almost all of them work, especially when the thing I've mentioned today, which is websites and Google business page, is done correctly first. The constraint for most BJJ gyms isn't the capacity or their discipline, and it isn't effort or even budget. The constraint, in my opinion, is being invisible to the highest possible intent lead or potential student in your city. The fix is the foundation: a real website, a real Google profile, real lead capture, real follow-up, built once, managed properly, and the entire rest of your marketing world starts working the way it's supposed to. This isn't just about more students and more revenue, but it's about getting back more time. Getting back to the reason you opened your gym in the first place. Teaching, training, and building community. Being on the mat instead of opening your laptop all the time. In my opinion, the business problem and the lifestyle problem are the same problem, and oftentimes the fix is the same fix. If you're a gym owner watching and you want to know if your website and Google business page are actually the constraint of your business, reach out to me, leave a comment below, message me on Instagram. It'll be in the description of this video, and I'll audit it 100% free. No heavy sales, no pitch deck, just a conversation. Well, whatever you need, no pressure. And I'll tell you exactly what's broken, what needs to be fixed, and what it would take to fix it. And honestly, no pitch in the call if there's nothing to fix. If everything looks good, I've turned clients away before, so no need to feel pressure. And you can follow me on Instagram. I'm a real person. I'm in the sport. I train. Yeah. Bottom line, I recommend you find the constraint, fix it once, then get back to teaching. Thank you for watching. If this video was useful, you want to see more content like this, if you have any recommendations for improvement, leave a comment below, like and subscribe. I really appreciate it. Find your constraint, fix it once, then get back to teaching. Next is episode 3. I'll see you in the next one.